So I previously got some paint on this piece. See if I can get to an angle where you can see the issue. Kind of got some runs in it, but I put loads of paint on it, so I'm going to give it some with 2000 grit or 1600 or whatever I can find, and then give it some polishing. You get the idea. I need more one-handed practice, I think. Paint weren't quite thick enough, so that's gone straight down to bare metal. I'm going to give it another go, another coat of paint on top. Looks like we're getting a major reaction on that one. Crap. Got to get the angle just right. It didn't come out overly terrible. You still can see, I think they're the streaks and runs from the previous go. I hit it a little bit with some light sandpaper. The reaction didn't come out as bad as it could have done. But I think I'm going to sand it back a little bit and then give it another coat. After the last round, I think as long as I stay away from the edges, I put enough paint on to be able to rub it back. I've been rubbing it down with 2000 and I think this just needs to harden a bit more, but I wanted to put it in place, let it harden there. I just got through with editing the video, which I posted about prepping the roof and getting the paint on it. And the whole way through editing it, I was thinking about how obvious the difference in colour is. Because like about here on my screen, it looks very, I don't know how to say, it's almost like a burgundy in it. Like, whereas here, it looks more orangey. And it doesn't look like that at all with the naked eye. I think I mentioned that in the video a few times. But yeah. I think what I'm going to do at the front, where I got that scab, let me get over there. Along here, I think I'm going to rub that down with some 1000, maybe 1200, and get back to the grey, and that'll just be one of those patches of grey. I think that'll look fine, because like right about here we've got a repair I did. But I probably won't do that until after the windscreen's all in. Well, I've got my seat base frames, seat belt reel holders. That's the centre seat base. And of course I've got the door window frames and the frames that go around the windshield. I want to paint them all in a colour called black grey, because I want to contrast with the slate grey, which the rest of the interior parts are painted. So I'm going to do that all in one go. Just give them a clean down with the acetate thinners. And then I'm going to hang them all up. I made these frames. I thought, I know, I'll put a bottle on there and I'll be able to string some string. But it didn't really work. Didn't really work out for various reasons. They kind of want to walk along, so just for the want of anything better, I've just clamped a piece of steel across the top, and I'll hook some welding wire over that to hang these pieces on. So set my extractor up in the middle there somewhere, and yeah, that's the plan. That's tonight's main objective. All these other pieces are either not ready to be painted yet, or they're going to be the slate grey. So this is going to be cut off and have a different lever put on it. And the same with the brake pedal and stuff like that. Still got some more ways to go with those. But yeah, again, I think this is enough to be getting on with. Well, everything's degreased now. I kind of hung everything up just to see how it's going to be. The plan is to get some paint on and then move them across so they're not going to touch each other. I think I'm going to work on these pieces first and then get onto these, because these are the bits what really matter, because we're going to see them. Most of these pieces aren't going to be seen at all. And yeah, I've got fans set up, lighting set up over here. See about setting the camera up, huh? Look at that. So there you have it. Bunch of parts with a bunch of paint on. That's the first time I have used a paint gun. You could probably tell. So I think I need to just move these along a bit. Just wanting to touch that post. See, I'm just a pro, aren't I? It's weird seeing those frames in black grey. Look, I've got it written here. It's the RAL colours, slate grey and black grey. Yeah, so they've kind of got a matte finish, but like with these frame pieces, this face here is the only piece which is going to get seen. So I guess I could polish it up some, but to the most part I just needed to get some paint on them. Very, very difficult to get paint on the inside-ish bits, but I think it was a whole lot less painful than doing it with rattle cans. I think I would have probably gone for a lot of rattle cans doing that. And I was expecting a lot more overspray. Look, I even wrapped up the truck. And there's no residue on it, but hey, better safe than sorry, I've got the stuff. I need a proper workstation for it. Don't know how much of this stuff I'm planning on doing in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had planned for tonight. Just going to leave the door wide open to let the fumes clear. Doesn't smell too badly in here, to be fair. Maybe I'll watch some YouTube. Overall, I'm really pleased with how these turned out. If anything, they've got a slight matte finish, and I know I missed some paint on the inside here. Somewhere I missed it. There it is. So I'm going to give a few pieces an extra coat. I think that maybe not too much thinners has made it give it that matte finish. I'm going to paint this face on both of these again. I found that with the high pressure gun it moves them around a lot when they're hanging up, so I think I'm going to put these on the trestle, and I'm going to redo these. Overall I'm really pleased with the finish on them, but there's a couple of places like there where there's no paint at all, so that's just going to rust through and that's no good, so they just need that extra coat. So I've kind of got my stuff degreased, ready to set down and paint up. Maybe I'll hang them up after I've painted them. I just feel like this is going to be a better idea. Whilst I was making that last little section of video, I decided that having my mixing area and painting area in the same place was a mistake, so I kind of set myself up over there. I'm just going to set this GoPro up on video, just a nice wide angle so you can see what I get up to. Hopefully it turns out alright, hey? It's really difficult to discern it from black, but I got another good coat on of these, so anything what happens to them now will just probably be a little polish or what have you. I used less thinner than I did last time, and it went on so much nicer. I really, yeah, it went on really well. So I got these nicely painted. I'm quite happy with the finish of them. It's got quite a nice luster to it. It's a proper satin. I feel like I'm getting used to this whole painting with a gun thing. Bit more. I think I used less thinner this time and the paint went on a lot nicer. Really difficult to get inside these pieces. But yeah, I feel like I'm doing alright with it. So the engine and the transmission have had an argument and split up. Got it up on the rack here. Have a look. It's all been apart already. It's looking actually pretty clean in there, to be honest. I've had one of these bearing shells off before, I know. I'm going to take one off and have a quick look. Just kind of wanted to do a little bit of work on this. I'm going to kind of clean it up by hand with a wire brush and whatnot, just so that I can get it done. I haven't decided how much I'm going to strip it down yet, but we'll see. So those of you who've been following the channel for any length of time will know that I took on this unit last September. So what's that coming up for, like 6 months, something like that. And it's a progression. It's not a full-time job in here. I make these exit button covers. Predominantly that's what pays for this whole deal. I do a few other bits and pieces as well, mostly in stainless steel. And yes, design and fabrication. I do a lot of stuff which never really comes in here because it gets manufactured by other people as well. And yeah, I'm building the truck. It's kind of like a hobby thing. I don't have a space at home where I can build it, so I'm building it here. As you can tell by the doors, it is here to promote the business once it's done. Well, during the course as well, if you're watching the videos. If you need any design and fabrication done, just give me a shout. But the point is, I'm trying to sort of develop what I'm doing as I go. So trying to organise the workshop. It's gone from just having everything dumped in here to being a bit more progressive. And with the engine here, I'm gonna strip it down and clean it all out properly and whatnot. So yeah, I'm learning as I go along here. Plenty of videos on YouTube and so forth, but whatever I do here, don't use it as a tutorial on how to do it. Just use it as maybe motivation to have a go yourself. There's plenty of tutorial videos online what you should go for. But that's the point. I'm going to flash up a couple of images of the shell which is inside that one. But that's where I'm going to leave this video. I'm going to spend some time. I've got a bench to collect from the other workshop, which is similar to this one. In fact, it's exactly the same as this one. And I'm going to put some sheets of steel on top of that, which I've got, and maybe change the size of it, place it here somewhere. Got some decent light there. That's going to be my engine working on area. And yeah, just get set up. I think I might buy a parts washer as well. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank the guys who later subscribers. I really appreciate it. All the comments help the algorithm. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it really does help the channel. Later.